Nathan's fist tore Ellen's purse, her cry piercing the mall. The smug ex-Navy SEAL, Nathan Cole, loomed over Ellen Marsh in the food court, his sneer a whip as he tossed her groceries, apples thudding on the tiles. "Pay up, widow!" he barked, voice booming, demanding her meager cash. Ellen, a widowed nurse, shrank, gentle hands trembling, her voice quavering, "Please, I've nothing left." Her gray hair slipped from its bun, eyes darting with fear, shoulders hunched under Nathan's towering frame. The neon flared, fries sizzled, trays clattered, but shoppers froze, their gasps sharp. Teens mocked, "Look at her shake!" A mom clutched her child, phones flashed, recording Ellen's shame. A barista froze, shoppers whispered, "That's the SEAL guy," their apathy a cold blade, amplifying her humiliation. The crowd's phones glinted, capturing every flinch, some laughing, others silent, complicity choking the air. Ellen's dignity, forged through years tending soldiers, crumbled, her fear a raw wound. Nathan kicked an apple, his laugh cruel. "No one's saving you, old lady." The food court's bustle, kids shouting, cash registers beeping, faded, the neon's harsh glow a spotlight on Ellen's trembling form. Shoppers' trays stilled, their chatter dying, the mall a stage for injustice. A man in a plain jacket stiffened at the edge, eyes blazing, Muay Thai framed tense, a coiled spring among the crowd. Jason Statham, unnamed, watched, his coffee forgotten, fury sparking as Ellen's plea cut deeper. The crowd's recordings, their mocking jeers, fueled Nathan's bravado, but Statham's gaze burned, fingers twitching, grit a fire ready to ignite. The mall's neon buzzed, grease hung heavy, the air electric with Ellen's fear and Nathan's menace. Statham's jaw clenched, the widow's trembling hands a call he couldn't ignore, his silence a storm gathering strength. The crowd's whispers grew, phones poised, as Nathan's taunt echoed, "Beg or lose more." Ellen's eyes, wet with fear, met a stranger's across the court. Statham rose, fists tightening, gaze ablade, his step forward a thunderclap. The neon flickered, shoppers held their breath, the food court's pulse racing. A dramatized clash loomed, Statham's silent resolve a spark, the mall's air crackling with the promise of justice. Welcome to Statham's Heroics, where heroic justice awaits, neon hums, and bullies fall. I'm here to share tales of grit, narrated with a commanding growl, where Statham stands crush frauds like Nathan Cole, a fake SEAL who dared harass a widow. Statham's Heroics is your home for epic battles against injustice. Subscribe for more heroics, and step into the fight, narrated softly, where a fraud faces Statham's wrath. Watch Statham deliver justice, narrated suspensefully, in a mall where truth triumphs. The mall's buzz hid a widow's fear. The food court thrummed with life, trays clattering, voices chattering over the sizzle of fries, neon flaring in a kaleidoscope of pinks and blues. Escalators whirred, kids laughed by a pretzel stand, and shoppers bustled with bags, their footsteps echoing on polished tiles. The air carried grease and perfume, a deceptive hum of normalcy masking a tension that coiled like a spring. Beneath the skylight's sterile glow, the mall was a hive, alive but restless, its pulse quickening as a storm brewed in the heart of the crowd. Nathan Cole strutted through, a fallen Navy SEAL whose title was stripped, though not yet known, his chiseled frame a billboard of pride. Local news had once hailed his medals, plastering his face on billboards, but whispers followed, arrogance, a temper that turned heroics to menace, ejected from a bar last week for shoving a bouncer. His tight jacket strained, his smirk a blade, eyes scanning for weakness, a predator cloaked in a hero's myth. Shoppers parted, some nodding, "That's Cole," others murmuring, "He's trouble." Their glances wary, the neons hum a faint warning of his threat. Ellen Marsh moved quietly, a widowed nurse with gray hair pinned neatly, her worn purse clutched tight. Her soft-spoken dignity shone in small acts, helping a lost child find his mother, thanking a cashier with a warm smile, her humanity alight in the mall's chaos. Once a steady hand through wartime hospitals, she now counted coins carefully, her budget thin, vulnerability etched in her cautious steps. Her gentle hands, trembling under Nathan's taunt moments ago, carried a quiet strength, unnoticed by the bustling crowd, her solitude a target for cruelty. Jason Statham sat at a corner table, a black coffee untouched, his stuntman's life left on set for a moment of normalcy. His Muay Thai scars hid under a plain jacket, his grit buried in a calm stare, but his instinct to protect was alert, sharpened by years facing down bullies. He'd come for a break, not a fight, yet his eyes, sharp as blades, tracked Nathan's swagger, the widow's fear a spark to his dormant fire. His presence was unassuming, a man blending into the crowd, but his fingers tapped the table, a rhythm of restraint, not inaction. The food court's bustle, kids shouting, registers beeping, masked his focus, his coffee cooling as he gauged Nathan's menace. The mall's neon buzzed louder, a soda machine hummed, the air thick with grease and anticipation. Shoppers bustled, some haggling at kiosks, others snapping selfies, their chatter a hum that drowned Ellen's quiet plea. A teen dropped a tray, the crash ignored, as Nathan's voice grew sharper, his taunts a whip across the food court. The crowd's apathy, their phones more interesting than Ellen's trembling hands, was a silent betrayal, their murmurs about Nathan. He's a hero, right? Fueling his bravado. Ellen's scarf, yanked by Nathan, lay crumpled, her dignity fraying under the neon's glare, the mall a stage where her fear played out. Statham's mind flickered to past bullies, a bar brawl, a punk who'd mocked a beggar, each a lesson in standing tall. His jaw tightened, echoing the fury that had sparked when Nathan tore Ellen's purse, his protective instinct a fire he couldn't douse. The food court's pulse quickened, shoppers' glances darting to Nathan, some whispering, "He's pushing it," others staring at Ellen's hunched form. The escalators were, the neon's flare, and the crowd's restless hum cloaked Nathan's growing aggression, his voice a blade cutting deeper. Statham leaned forward, his chair creaking, the widow's trembling hands a call he couldn't ignore. Nathan sneered louder, his taunt a venomous jab. "No one's coming, widow." The crowd's murmurs faltered, phones wavering, as Statham's eyes blazed, a low whisper escaping, "Not true." His gaze, sharp as a blade, locked on Nathan, boots poised to move, the neon's hum a battle drum. The food court's tension spiked, shoppers leaning in, a barista clutching her apron, the air crackling with the dramatized promise of justice. Statham's restraint, a storm held back, was ready to break, the mall's normalcy a fragile veil about to tear. "Widow, beg or break." Nathan Cole's taunt sliced the food court, his voice a booming growl that shook the mall's neon-lit air. Ellen Marsh flinched, her frail frame shrinking as Nathan yanked her scarf, tossing it to the tiles, his sneer a blade cutting deeper than when he tore her purse moments ago. "Widows don't matter," he spat, venom dripping, his chiseled bulk towering over her trembling hands. "I'm a seal, this mall's mine," he roared, justifying his cruelty with warped entitlement, his tight jacket straining, a mockery of the hero's medals once celebrated in local news. Ellen's voice cracked. "Please, stop," her eyes pleading, gray hair loose, dignity fraying under the crowd's gaze. The neon flared, grease hung heavy, trays clattered, but shoppers' chatter died, their phones flashing, amplifying her shame. Teens jeered, "Go on, cry!" Their laughter sharp, while retirees whispered, "Isn't he a hero?" Phones glinting like knives, recording Ellen's hunched form. A barista hesitated, her apron clutched, a mom pulled her child back, their nervous murmurs. "He's Nathan Cole, right?" Fueling his bravado. The escalators whirred, pop music droned, but the crowd's complicity grew, their recordings a cold spotlight on Ellen's fear. A kid's soda splashed, ignored, as Nathan kicked her spilled apples, sneering, "No one cares, old lady." Shoppers shifted, some nodding to Nathan's swagger, others frowning, their whispers a hum of doubt, the food court's pulse racing with tension. The air thickened, neon buzzing louder, fries sizzling faintly, the mall a crucible where Ellen's quiet strength battled Nathan's menace. Jason Statham stood still at his corner table, coffee untouched, his silence a predator's calm as he'd watched Nathan's earlier taunts. His Muay Thai scars itched under his plain jacket, eyes locked on Nathan, fury simmering since Ellen's cry pierced the mall. The crowd's phones, their nervous giggles, and whispered commentary. "Who's that guy watching?" Swirled, but Statham's focus was iron, his restraint strategic, not fear. Memories of past bullies, a punk who'd robbed a beggar, a brawl where he'd stood tall, flashed, his jaw tightening, blazing with the same fire that sparked when Nathan first targeted Ellen. The neon's glare harshened, grease clung to the air, the crowd's apathy a weight on Ellen's trembling hands. Nathan's taunts, a relentless whip, mocked her widow's grief, each word a spark to Statham's coiled anger. Shoppers leaned in, a cashier paused mid-order, the food court's bustle fading as Nathan's voice grew louder. "Kneel, or I'll take everything." Ellen's scarf lay crumpled, her eyes wet, her nurse's dignity a fading light under his shadow. The crowd's phones wavered, some lowering, others filming, their murmurs shifting, "This is too far." But none moved, their complicity a silent betrayal. Statham's fingers stopped tapping, his breath steady, the mall's neon a spotlight on Nathan's cruelty. The air crackled, escalators humming faintly, the tension a taut wire ready to snap. He saw Ellen's gentle hands, the same that helped a lost child before Nathan's harassment, now shaking, her plea a call he'd answered in his mind since the first insult. Nathan's taunts piled on, his voice a hammer. "You're nothing, widow. Beg or I'll break you." Shoppers gasped, a teen's phone shook, the food court's pulse halting. The neon buzzed, the grease heavier, the escalators drone a faint echo, the mall a powder keg. Statham's heart pounded, his restraint a storm held back, the crowd's whispers. "He's pushing it." A faint ripple against Nathan's roar. Ellen's trembling hands, her soft-spoken dignity, were a beacon, Nathan's cruelty a shadow Statham couldn't ignore. The air trembled, the food court's tension a live wire, shoppers' eyes darting, some stepping back, others frozen, waiting for the spark. Then Statham stood, boots scuffing the tiles, his voice a steely snarl. "Heroes don't prey on widows, Cole." The words cut the air, a thunderclap shifting the mood, shoppers gasping, phones swiveling to Statham. The neon flared brighter, the crowd's chatter stilled, their nervous laughter dying. Nathan's eyes narrowed, his smirk faltering, caught off guard by the man who'd watched silently. The barista's apron dropped, a teen's phone shook, the food court's pulse halting. Statham's gaze held Nathan, a blade forged in the fire of Ellen's fear, his stand a spark igniting the mall's restless heart. The crowd's whispers surged. "Is that Statham?" Their complicity wavering, the air electric with his words. Nathan laughed, a harsh bark. "You're nothing." His taunt, a desperate jab, mocked harder, but the crowd froze, phones poised, their gasps a hush swallowing his bravado. The neon buzzed, grease hung heavier, the escalators drone a faint echo, the food court a powder keg. Shoppers' eyes darted, some stepping back, others leaning forward, the tension a live wire. Statham's fists tightened, his silence broken, the fuse lit for a dramatized clash. The mall's air trembled, Ellen's trembling hands a beacon, Nathan's cruelty a shadow about to fall, the crowd's pause a heartbeat before justice roared. Statham's fist smashed Nathan Cole's jaw, bone crunching in the food court's roar. The mall's neon flared, grease thickened, as Jason Statham, ignited by Nathan's taunt, "You're nothing," launched at the Smug ex-Navy SEAL. Nathan reeled, his chiseled bulk swaying, but swung a meaty fist, grazing Statham's ribs, pain flaring like a spark. Statham sidestepped, hurling a soda machine tray, its clang echoing as it deflected Nathan's punch. Shoppers screamed, phones flashing, trays crashing, the chaos a whirlwind as Statham's Muay Thai precision surged. The air pulsed with sweat and fear, neon flickering, fries sizzling faintly, the food court a battleground where Ellen Marsh's cry echoed in Statham's heart. Nathan charged, his elbow aiming for Statham's temple, a brutal swing from a man whose bar fights scarred his name. Statham twisted, a wrist lock snapping Nathan's arm back, the crack sharp, his pained growl ripping through the neon's buzz. "Seals don't terrorize widows." Statham snarled, voice a fierce snarl, landing a teep kick to Nathan's chest, the thud sending him stumbling. Shoppers gasped, teens dropping phones, a barista shouting, "Get him!" A mom shielded her kid, a cashier ducked, retirees gasped, their whispers, "Is that Statham?" Swirling. The crowd's jeers from Nathan's taunts faded, their phones wobbling, capturing the chaos as Statham's fist struck again. The neon buzzed, grease hung heavy, escalators droning faintly. Statham snatched a ketchup bottle, swinging it as a club, the plastic cracking against Nathan's shoulder, red splattering. Nathan roared, his fist grazing Statham's cheek, blood trickling, but Statham countered with a clinched knee to Nathan's side, air whooshing from his lungs. The crowd screams surged, shoppers scrambling, some cheering, "Take him down!" others frozen. Statham's mind burned with Ellen's trembling hands, her plea, "Please stop," driving each strike. His Muay Thai scars pulsed, a testament to battles won against bullies like Nathan, whose arrogance mocked the widow's dignity. Nathan lunged, slamming Statham into a food stand, ketchup packets bursting, the crash deafening. Shoppers shrieked, a teen's soda spilling, a retiree clutching her purse. Statham rolled, an elbow block deflecting Nathan's punch, then landed a spinning elbow to Nathan's jaw, bone crunching, Nathan's growl sharper. The crowd's gasp swelled, a barista raising a fist, neon storming. Statham's resolve hardened, memories of a punk who'd robbed a beggar flashing, Ellen's cry fueling his precision. The food court's chaos swirled, phones flashing, shoppers' screams blending with crashing trays, the air electric. Nathan staggered, Statham's eyes burned, the fight a tempest ready to shift. Nathan Cole staggered, his bulk faltering under the food court's neon glare, but Statham's onslaught didn't pause. Jason Statham pinned Nathan against a kiosk, neon flaring, grease thickened, trays clattered, his Muay Thai precision a storm. A low roundhouse kick cracked Nathan's knee, the snap sharp, his pained growl echoing as he clutched the counter. Statham's elbow strike slammed Nathan's temple, dazing him, followed by a knee lift to his gut, air whooshing out. Shoppers gasped, teens cheered, "Get him!" A mom clapped, her kid peeking, the crowd's awe swelling. The neon flickered, escalators groaned, the mall's air electric with Statham's dominance, Ellen Marsh's cry, "Please, stop," fueling each blow. Statham flipped a table, its crash deafening, shoving Nathan into a pretzel stand, pretzels scattering, the wood splintering. Nathan swung wildly, his punch blocked by Statham's chair shield, the clatter a war drum. Statham's clinch locked Nathan's arm, a knee strike thudding his ribs, Nathan's groan a broken wail. The crowd surged, a barista shouted, "Finish it!" Retirees nodded, their whispers, "He's done!" A tide turning from Nathan's taunts. Statham's resolve burned, Ellen's dignity drove him, her trembling hands a beacon from when Nathan mocked her. The food court's chaos shifted, neon pulsing, grease heavy, shoppers' phones flashing, capturing Statham's relentless fire. Nathan's eyes widened, his smirk gone, desperation fueling a final lunge. Statham sidestepped, a hook punch crunching Nathan's nose, blood spurting, the crowd's cheers roaring. He used a railing, swinging to land a spinning heel kick, Nathan's chest caving, his growl fading. Shoppers clapped, a cashier waved, the neon's glare softening, the mall's pulse a hymn of justice. Statham's mind flashed to past bullies, a bar punk crushed, a beggar's plea answered, his Muay Thai scars pulsing, Ellen's cry of fire that steadied his aim. The crowd's gasp swelled, some weeping, others shouting, "Statham!" Their complicity shattered, phones now filming a hero's stand. Control descended. Statham stood tall, chest heaving, eyes blazing, Nathan slumped against the kiosk, his bulk broken, blood streaking his face. The neon steadied, grease faded, trays silent, the food court's air alive with awe. Statham's dominance was iron, his mastery a lesson etched in Nathan's groans. The crowd surged, a mom raising her fist, teens cheering, retirees murmuring, "That's him." The escalators hummed, neon glowed soft, the mall's chaos now a canvas of relief. Statham's heart pounded, Ellen's trembling hands, her nurse's dignity, a vow fulfilled. The crowd's cheers, once mocking Ellen, now hailed her rescue, their awe a spark from Statham's fire. Shoppers pressed closer, some clapping, others stunned, the food court's pulse a heartbeat of justice. Statham's resolve, forged in the neon's glare, held firm, his stand a beacon against Nathan's cruelty. The neon hummed, escalators faint, the air clearing as the crowd's complicity melted. Nathan's groans, a fading echo of his arrogance, mingled with the crowd's whispers, their phones poised, capturing the moment. Statham's eyes, blazing since Nathan's first taunt, softened, scanning the crowd, finding Ellen's corner, her presence a silent call. Nathan lay groaning, crumpled on the tiles, Ellen's eyes widening, relief flooding her frail frame. The crowd whispered, "He's done!" Their phones shaking, holding their breath, the neon's glow a quiet promise. Shoppers' gasps stilled, a barista's shout faded, retirees' murmurs grew, justice had won. The food court's air trembled, grease a faint memory, trays silent, the escalators hum a distant pulse. Statham's stand, a dramatized triumph, lingered, Nathan's defeat a lesson carved in the mall's heart. The crowd's silence, Ellen's wide eyes, and Nathan's broken groans signaled the end, the fuse from his cruelty now a fire of retribution, poised for the aftermath's reckoning. A guard shouted, "He's no seal, stripped for assault." The food court's neon dimmed, Grease lingered, the bombshell shattering Nathan Cole's smug facade as he lay groaning, slumped against the kiosk. The mall guard waved a Navy fax, its word stark, Nathan Cole, terminated for misconduct, dishonored for assault. Gasps ripped through the crowd, shoppers' phones wavering, the air crackling with shock. Teens booed, "Liar!" A mom glared, her child peeking, barista scowled, the revelation a blade-cutting Nathan's hero myth. The escalators hummed, trays silent, the food court's pulse halting as Nathan's lies unraveled, his harassment of Ellen Marsh no longer sealed pride but a desperate bully hiding disgrace. The crowd's whispers, "He's done." From Statham's triumph swelled, their awe now outrage, neon flickering, the mall a crucible where truth burned. Jason Statham stood tall, fists clenched tighter, stunned but resolute. His eyes narrowed, voice a steely growl. "You're a fraud, Cole." The words, forged in Ellen's cry and Nathan's defeat, pierced the food court, tying to Statham's justice-driven stand. Ellen's plea, "Please stop," burned in his mind, her trembling hands afire fueling his resolve to expose this sham. The neon's glow softened, grease a faint memory, shoppers' gasps surging as Statham's conviction anchored the chaos. His Muay Thai scars, pulsing from the fight, bore witness to battles against bullies, Nathan's stripped title a new wound to his arrogance. The crowd's phones lowered, some stopping recordings, others confronting Nathan, their murmurs, "How could he?" A tide turning from complicity. Nathan's eyes widened, blood streaking his face, his groans weaker, shame replacing his smirk. The fax's words, assault, dishonor, stripped his seal claim, revealing a man hiding disgrace with bullying, his harassment of Ellen a desperate grasp at power. The stakes escalated, his lies endangered all, a fraud's menace unchecked until Statham's stand. Teens shouted, "Fake!" Mom's glare sharpened, barista's scowl deepened, the crowd's moral pivot a storm. A cashier yelled, "Get out!" Retirees shook heads, their whispers, "Disgrace!" Cutting deeper than Nathan's taunts. The food court's air trembled, neon dimming further, escalators a faint hum, the crowd's outrage afire sparked by Statham's truth. Shoppers pressed closer, some booing, others glaring, the food court's pulse a heartbeat of justice. Statham's resolve hardened, Ellen's gentle hands, her nurse's dignity, a vow he'd upheld through fists and now words. The neon hummed, the mall's chaos softening, the crowd shift a mirror to their earlier apathy. Nathan's lies, once cloaked by medals, lay bare, his harassment a coward's mask, not a hero's might. The guard's fax, creased and stark, was a beacon, its words echoing Statham's stand, the food court a stage where truth outshone fraud. The crowd's phones, once mocking Ellen, now turned on Nathan, their recordings a verdict. The air cleared, neon steady, the food court's tension a fading storm. Statham's eyes, blazing since Nathan's first taunt, held the crowd, his stand a call answered in Ellen's wide eyes. The escalator's hum grew faint, shoppers' murmurs a chorus of outrage, the grease's weight lifting. Nathan's groans, a pathetic echo of his cruelty, mingled with the crowd's shouts, their complicity burned away. Statham's fight, a dramatized triumph, reshaped the mall, his resolve a fire that cleansed Nathan's lies. The crowd's shift, from jeers to justice, was a spark, the food court's soul stirring under the neon's glow. Statham vowed, "This ends now," voice a steely growl, the crowd leaning in, their phones poised, anticipation thick. The neon dimmed, grease lingered, the escalators hum a distant pulse, the food court's air trembling with stakes redefined. Nathan's fraud, a threat beyond Ellen's pain, demanded exposure, Statham's stand a beacon for truth. Shoppers' gasps stilled, a barista's shout faded, retirees' murmurs grew, justice burned eternal. The crowd's tense hush, Ellen's relieved gaze, and Nathan's broken groans hung heavy, the dramatized twist of fire ready to ignite the aftermath's reckoning. A teen whispered, "Statham saved her." The food court's neon softened, grease faded, trays stilled, reverence settling over the mall as Nathan Cole groaned, slumped against the kiosk. Jason Statham knelt beside Ellen Marsh, offering her scarf back, his voice warm, a trembling whisper, "You're safe now." Ellen's eyes, wide with relief, met his, her frail hands steadying, the widow's fear easing under his care. The crowd's murmurs, sparked by Nathan's exposed fraud, hushed, shoppers' phones lowering, their gasps fading into awe. The escalators quieted, the air clearing, The food court a sanctuary where Statham's stand burned bright, Ellen's trembling hands now a beacon of hope. A mom returned Ellen's purse, her voice soft. "I'm so sorry." Teens apologized, heads bowed. "We didn't know," their earlier jeers a memory. A barista gathered Ellen's apples, her hands quick, while retirees offered comfort, one patting Ellen's shoulder. "You're strong." The crowd, once complicit in Nathan's cruelty, shifted, their actions a tide of support, narrated emotionally to mirror the twist's outrage. Shoppers pressed closer, some wiping tears, others nodding, the neons glow a gentle promise, the food court's pulse a heartbeat of redemption. Ellen's nurse's dignity, crushed by Nathan's taunts, shone again, her soft smile returning, a spark Statham had guarded. Nathan lay groaning, hiding his face, title stripped, his disgrace complete. Blood streaked his cheek, his bulk a broken shadow, the SEAL myth shattered by the Navy fax's truth, dishonored for assault. His shame, a weight heavier than Statham's fists, pinned him to the tiles, his earlier arrogance. "Widows don't matter." A fading echo. The crowd's eyes, once drawn to his swagger, now turned away, retirees shaking heads, a cashier nodding grimly, their murmurs, "Fraud." Sealing his defeat. The neon hummed, Grease a faint memory, the food court's air heavy with Nathan's finality, his lies buried under Statham's justice. Statham stood, chest heaving, his gaze sweeping the crowd, landing on Nathan. "Fraud's no hero, Cole," he said, voice a steely growl, the words a conviction that echoed his vow. "This ends now, and the twist's fraud reveal." The crowd's gasp swelled, a barista's fist clenched, teens murmuring, "He's right." The neon softened further, escalators a faint hum, the food court's tension melting into reverence. Statham's empathy lingered, Ellen's fear a wound he'd healed, her trembling hands a call answered through his stand. The crowd shift, from mocking Ellen to supporting her, was a fire sparked by Statham's fight, the mall a stage where truth prevailed. Shoppers' phones stilled, some weeping, others clasping hands, the food court's air alive with awe. A retiree whispered, "He's a real hero," a mom hugged her child, their earlier apathy now shame. The neon's glow steadied, the grease's weight gone, trays silent, the escalators hum a distant pulse. Statham's stand, a testament to Ellen's dignity, reshaped the mall, his Muay Thai scars a map of battles for the weak. The crowd's reverence grew, a cashier offering Ellen water, a teen picking up her scarf, their actions a chorus of redemption, the food court a crucible reborn. The air trembled, neon humming, as Statham's gaze met Ellen's, her eyes bright with gratitude, a nurse's strength returning. The crowd's murmurs softened, shoppers' phones poised, capturing not Nathan's shame but Statham's triumph. The food court's pulse, once chaotic, now sang of justice, Ellen's trembling hands steadied by Statham's care. The neon glowed, escalators quiet, the mall's chaos a memory, the crowd's awe spark for what came next. A teen's video uploaded, lights flashing, the crowd murmuring, "It's going viral." The neon dimmed, grease faded, the food court's air alive with suspense, phones glinting as the clip spread. Shoppers leaned in, a barista's shout, "Look!" Cutting through, retirees whispering, "Everyone'll see." The escalator's hum faded, the crowd's anticipation a chain reaction, Statham's stand a fire ready to blaze online. The dramatized fallout loomed, Ellen's relief, Nathan's shame, and Statham's triumph a spark, the mall's pulse trembling with the promise of a viral reckoning. Statham's takedown posted at 8:01 p.m., 2.1 M views by 8:15. X exploded with hashtag Statham saves, the food court's neon glowed, air cleared, as the mall's viral spark ignited a global storm. TikTok flooded with clips, hashtags like hashtag Justice for Ellen trending, headlines screaming, "Actor stops fake SEAL bully." Dwayne Johnson tweeted, "Statham's the real deal," narrated energetically, the buzz a wildfire from the teen's video upload moments ago. Comments erupted. User 123, "Statham's a legend." Fake see you later, "Nathan's a disgrace," narrated with passionate pitch, a public trial unfolding online. Instagram reels looped Statham's Muay Thai kicks, Nathan's groans, Ellen Marsh's wide eyes, the crowd's awe from the fight a digital echo across platforms. The neon hummed, escalators quiet, the food court's reverence now a global roar. News outlets ran exposés, disgraced SEAL Harasses' widow, narrated with weight, their anchors dissecting Nathan Cole's fraud, his stripped title a wound laid bare by the guard's fax. Ex-users posted Navy statements. Cole dishonored, terminated for assault, narrated with a somber growl, sponsors dropping him like ash, energy drinks, gyms, even a local car dealer. The mall banned Nathan, signs posted, no trespassing, security tightened, a community rallied, narrated heavily, their actions a ripple from Statham's stand. Shoppers shared clips, their murmurs, it's viral. From the aftermath now a chorus online, the food court's pulse beating through screens worldwide. Comment sections burned, fans praising Statham, he's our hero. Others shaming Nathan, fraud deserves worse. Narrated passionately, division fueling debates. Some defended Nathan, he was a SEAL, but were drowned by outrage, he's a bully. The neon's glow steadied, air cleared, the mall's air alive with echoes of Ellen's trembling hands, her dignity restored. Statham's legacy grew, posts unearthing his quiet deeds, helping a homeless vet, unnoticed, breaking up a bar fight, ignored, narrated warmly, tying to his protective instincts sparked when Nathan tore Ellen's purse. X-Threads lauded his grit, always stands for the weak, the food court's chaos now a beacon of justice. Online forums dissected Nathan's lies, his bar ejection a year ago, his taunts, widows don't matter. Now a public verdict. Blogs posted Ellen's story, nurse who saved soldiers, bullied, narrated with weight, her soft smile a rallying cry. Community pages shared fundraisers, support Ellen Marsh, narrated emotionally, shoppers clips from the mall fueling donations. The neon softened, escalators hummed, the food court's era memory of Statham's stand, his Muay Thai scars a silent testament. Ex-users posted memes, Statham's kick looping, Nathan's smirk fading, the crowd shift from jeers to awe a viral pulse, narrated energetically, the mall's legacy reborn. News vans arrived, reporters swarming the mall, their cameras flashing where Statham had fought, narrated rapidly. Headlines piled, Statham's justice shocks nation, narrated with excitement, posts linking Nathan's fraud to wider scams, fake heroes beware. The community rallied, petitions for mall safety laws surging, narrated with a somber growl, the food court's neon a symbol of change. Shoppers' phones, once mocking Ellen, now shared her story, their clips, Ellen's safe. A chorus of redemption. The air cleared, neon glowed, the escalators hum a steady beat, the mall's pulse of fire Statham had lit. The online buzz crescendoed, X-Threads exploding, hashtag Statham saves tops charts. Narrated passionately, fans posting Ellen's smile, Nathan's shame, Statham's growl, fraud's no hero. The food court's reverence, where shoppers had wept, echoed online, narrated warmly, the crowd's murmurs, he's done. Now a global shout. Statham's stand, a spark from Ellen's cry, burned through screens, his legacy a call for the weak. The neon's glow lingered, grease gone, the mall's air alive with justice, the community's rally a testament to retribution. Posts surged, Statham's fight changed us, narrated energetically, the food court's chaos a fading memory, its pulse now hope. The escalators hummed, neon steady, the mall a crucible where truth prevailed. The online trial, fueled by Nathan's lies and Statham's fists, reshaped narratives, narrated with weight, Ellen's dignity a beacon. The crowd's phones, their viral clips, carried Statham's stand, a dramatized triumph echoing beyond the mall. A Navy official emailed, "We want Statham," narrated mysteriously, the message a shadow in X's buzz. The neon dimmed, air trembled, the food court's pulse a quiet vow, anticipation thick for Statham's next move. Shoppers' clips spread, the crowd's awe a spark, the mall's air humming with a dramatized promise, the viral fallout a fire ready to burn brighter. No cameras, just Statham's heroic steps past quiet stalls. The mall's neon faint, air quieted, Jason Statham walked alone, the food court's roar from his takedown fading, the Navy official's email, "We want Statham," a distant echo. Closed kiosks loomed, escalators silent, the neons hum a whisper, the mall a sanctuary where Ellen Marsh's relief lingered. Statham's Muay Thai scars, pulsing from Nathan Cole's defeat, settled, his boots scuffing tiles, each step a quiet vow. The food court's chaos, where Nathan's fraud was exposed, now a memory, the air soft, trays stilled, the mall's pulse calm. Shoppers' whispers, he saved her. From the viral buzz trailed him, their awe a spark in the dim light, Statham's stand a fire that burned eternal. He paused at his corner table, the coffee cold, a note slipped under the cup, "Thank you, Ellen." Her words, inked in a nurse's steady hand, glowed, narrated with a trembling whisper, her smile from the aftermath lingering in his mind. Ellen's trembling hands, once clutching a torn purse, now steadied by his fight. Her dignity a beacon that had called him from Nathan's first taunt. The neon's glow softened, air quieted, the escalator's hum faint, the mall's air alive with her gratitude. Statham's heart stirred, memories of past stands, breaking up a bar fight, helping a homeless vet, flashing, each a thread in his resolve to protect the weak, his grit a silent oath. Statham moved on, passing a janitor struggling with a tray. He stopped, helping lift it to a cart, narrated with quiet pride, the tray's clatter a faint echo of the fight's chaos. The janitor nodded. "Thanks, man," unaware of Statham's stand, the act a mirror to Ellen's rescued apples, a symbol of lifting, not breaking. The neon hummed, the mall's air serene, shoppers' murmurs, "That's him," soft in the distance, their phones now stilled, their reverence a quiet tide. Statham's thoughts lingered on Ellen's smile, her fear a wound he'd healed, the food court's neon a testament to justice, its pulse a vow to stand again. The mall's quiet wrapped him, kiosks shuddered, the escalators hum a distant pulse, the air cleared of grease. Statham's solitude was his strength, his scars a map of battles for the weak, each step a rejection of the cameras that had chased his viral fame. The crowd's chants, "Statham's a legend." From X-posts echoed faintly, their awe a spark he didn't seek, his resolve rooted in Ellen's trembling hands. The neon's faint glow, the mall's serene air, carried her gratitude, a fire that steadied his heart, the food court's chaos now a distant storm. Shoppers passed, some nodding, others whispering, "That's the guy," their voices soft, the mall's pulse a gentle beat. Statham's stand, a spark from Nathan's cruelty, had reshaped the food court, its neon a symbol of hope, its air alive with quiet pride. The escalators silent, the mall's chaos faded, his steps a rhythm of closure, Ellen's note a weight in his pocket. The crowd's reverence, their shift from jeers to support, was a legacy he carried, his grit a fire that burned without fanfare, the mall a crucible where truth prevailed. A newsstand headline caught his eye, "Navy seeks Statham," narrated with a hushed growl, the words a shadow of the viral storm. The neon dimmed, air trembled, the escalators hum a faint call, anticipation thick for what lay ahead. Shoppers' whispers grew. "Who is he?" Their phones silent, the mall's air humming with mystery. Statham's steps didn't falter, his solitude a shield, the headline a spark he ignored, his resolve unshaken. The food court's pulse, once chaotic, now sang of justice, Ellen's smile a vow he'd keep, the dramatized triumph a fire ready to light his next stand. A mural rose in the mall. Statham shielding Ellen. The food court's neon steady, air calm, the tribute towered over kiosks, Jason Statham's stand immortalized, the Navy Scout's whisper, "Find Statham." A spark in the quiet. Ellen Marsh's smile, radiant from her rescue, bloomed anew, narrated warmly with a joyful whisper. She volunteered again, smiling at shoppers, mentoring nurses at the hospital, her confidence a beacon where fear once reigned. The mall's pulse, once chaotic with Nathan Cole's taunts, now hummed with hope, escalators soft, kiosks buzzing, the air alive with her renewed purpose. Ellen visited schools, sharing her story, narrated warmly, her nurse's dignity, crushed by Nathan's fraud, now a light for others, her trembling hands a memory from the day Statham stood tall. The public learned, Ellen's law for mall safety proposed, petitions surging, narrated with impact. Awards were suggested, a citizen's honor for Statham, a bravery medal for Ellen. Podcasts inviting her voice, narrated powerfully, the mall's neon a symbol of change. X-posts, still buzzing from "Statham's a legend," echoed in editorials. Justice over fraud, narrated energetically, the community's rally a fire from Statham's fight. Shoppers' clips, once viral, now inspired marches, narrated with weight, the food court's chaos a catalyst for reform. The neon glowed, air calm, kiosks hummed, the mall's air a testament to retribution, Nathan's disgrace a shadow buried by Statham's stand. Statham spoke, his voice a resonant growl, "Truth breaks frauds, not the weak." The quote, narrated sincerely, echoed his vow, "Fraud's no hero, Cole," and Ellen's trembling hands, a call he'd answered with fists and heart. The mall's pulse steadied, escalators whispering, the neon's glow a vow to protect. He fought for Ellen's dignity, not glory, narrated with resonance, his Muay Thai scars a silent oath, his stand a fire that burned beyond the food court. The crowd's awe, from teens' cheers to retirees' murmurs, lived in posts, #Statham saves, narrated warmly, the mall's air carrying their pride, a legacy forged in Ellen's smile. The food court's neon steadied, kiosks soft, the air calm, the escalators hum a gentle beat. Ellen's recovery, from a widow's fear to a mentor's strength, inspired shoppers, narrated with a joyful whisper, their whispers, "She's back." A chorus of hope. The mall, once a stage for Nathan's cruelty, became a sanctuary, narrated powerfully, its pulse a vow to stand for the weak. Statham's legacy, sparked by Ellen's cry, grew in stories. He stopped a bully, unnoticed, narrated warmly, his grit a spark for others. The neon's glow, the air's calm, echoed the food court's shift, from chaos to reverence, a fire that burned eternal. Public forums lauded Ellen, her courage shines, narrated with impact, her talks at community centers a ripple from Statham's stand. The mall's kiosks, once bustling with Nathan's taunts, now hosted safety signs, narrated with weight, the escalators hum a reminder of change. X-Threads proposed statues, for Statham, for Ellen, narrated energetically, the food court's legacy a beacon, its neon a promise of justice. The crowd's phones, once mocking Ellen, now shared her story, narrated warmly, their clips a vow to protect, the mall's air alive with purpose. The neon glowed, escalators soft, the food court's pulse a hymn of pride. Statham's stand, a spark from Nathan's fraud, reshaped lives, narrated with resonance, Ellen's dignity a fire that lit the mall. The public's learning, from laws to awards, was his legacy, narrated powerfully, the air calm, kiosks humming, the mall a crucible reborn. The dramatized triumph, rooted in retribution, burned eternal, the food court's neon a vow to stand again, Ellen's smile a spark for all. A Navy scout whispered, "Find Statham," narrated with a hushed growl, the footage looping in a dark office, intrigue thick. The neon dimmed, air trembled, escalators silent, the mall's pulse a quiet call for Statham's next stand. Shoppers' whispers, "He's out there," faded, their phones stilled, the food court's glow a mystery, the dramatized legacy a fire waiting to blaze anew.